When men are pushed into a corner, they resort to violence. Why do you have to go to your teacher? Your teacher cannot really help you. Your teacher is a loser. That's the reason you should go and speak to these entrepreneurs and, minting money and all that. When have we universally decided that making millions is the objective of everyone's life? Maybe my goal is not to make millions. Women who are married are less happy and men who are single are less happy.
It's insane, right?
When women are harassed in buses, on the streets, they get angry too, but they are not allowed to be angry.
Hello everyone, welcome to Decoding Quirks. I'm your host Aditi, and in today's episode we're talking about my favorite subject, so you better stick along and watch this. We're talking about toxic masculinity, feminism. We're also talking about it from the lens of Bollywood and item numbers, ads that we see, the Diwali ads that we see on TV. And we're going to be talking about like our own family dynamics a little bit, just a little personal, not too much because you don't know our family, you'll get bored. But anyways, welcome Lokesh.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Hey, not at all. I think we've been going back and forth on this for a very long time. Very happy that we're doing it.
Exactly the same thing. You just stole the words.
Right?
Too many like DMs, too much up and down, this time, that time. But we're finally here.
Yeah.
I need to say that the reason why he's here is because I started seeing your reels about your recommendations. Firstly, have you always done like movie recommendations? Or is this a new thing?
I started the page like 3 years ago. That completely went into full hibernation.
Okay.
And then I couldn't care much.
Okay.
With the full-time job on the radio and all that. And then you got to do what you got to do. So then I was like, okay, cool. Because every time I'm sitting with friends, they're like, recommend a movie, you watch whatever.
Yeah.
So there's like, okay, if why can't I do it like on socials as well? So the page started like, Loki recommends, the page started like 3 years ago.
Okay.
But I've been now more regular. Yeah.
So when you recommend a movie, you're also breaking it down and you decode it, which is the name of this podcast. It's Decoding Quirks.
Whoa.
So we decode everything. So you're actually decoding the movie, your review. That's what I really liked for at least 2 or 3.
So what I do is, Aditi, how this works is, I've watched like a bunch of stuff, right? But I don't necessarily decode the movie.
Okay.
If anything that kind of stands out in terms of gender equality, gender politics, gender dynamics, and if that speaks to me, then that is the opinion that I kind of give out. That's largely my deal with most of the movie recommendations. I don't necessarily just recommend movies. I also kind of decode songs and all that. Once I made a reel about how Sheila Ki Jawani is actually a feminist song.
It is a feminist song.
Right.
Yes,
so,
it is.
Or just language, like the alliteration in that Delhi 6 song, Arziyan. So the use of language in that particular song. So I do like different kinds of recommendations.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last one that I saw was Bads of Bollywood. I'm going to call it Bads in case there's still one person who's not watched it. I want to spoil it for them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The spoilers in the title of the...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the Bads of Bollywood, now I'll tell you.
Right.
I watched it with my friends, where I'm a really like deep person on my reels, but inside I'm a big buckchod, bro. Like I love doing.
I saw your stories.
I was like gaffoor the whole time.
I remember that.
I can't so I'm proper. I have died laughing. And all the jokes, and then I'm just like, what does Aryan Khan think we do? What do you think? What are our jokes? Like, what is he thinking?
Right.
But he got it. I was very impressed by that. And then I saw your review and I was like, shit, man. I didn't catch only half these things. I did. There was this one part where I did. But okay, for the people who still don't know, what really caught my attention was when you were like, even in today's day and age, it's 2025. And still, this macho man is being shown. Violence is very normalized, romanticized to a point where literally this person has done 10 wrong things. But instead of communicating, having an actual discussion or going into therapy, he's just using violence and we are sitting and clapping.
Yeah.
What the hell?
It really got my goat, yeah. In fact, more than that, I feel, every time I watch all these series, these movies, and it happened when I was watching Adolescence, which is a very different kind of genre altogether from the bads of Bollywood. One thing that just keeps coming up again and again is the fact that when men are pushed into a corner, when they find themselves in a crisis, they resort to violence, right? And then they make the lives of people around them very difficult. So the manager in Bads of Bollywood is the one who's cleaning up the mess every time he's messing up. And every time he's pushed to a corner, he's making all the wrong decisions, leaving a huge mess for the manager to clean up. And I'm like, can somebody, for at least once, of course, these characters exist. We know these characters, you know these characters, I know these
100%.
characters. For at least once, there has to be at least some little bit of writing where somebody holds him accountable for what he has done. Somebody says, hey, boss, can you be a little more responsible? This is what you've done. This is what is wrong. Not even a single character, not his friend, not his manager, not his mother, except everyone is celebrating, oh, what a hero, oh, what an entry, oh, what a shot, oh, what a
jump.
punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
you know what really got to me then, that there were these points where I remembered, was the signing of the contract. When they signed the contract and he literally went behind her back. She literally turned. He went behind her back and signed the contract.
Yeah.
And when she found out like 2 days later or whatever, how many ever days later, I would have like fucked up that person. Be like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
And she was just like, okay, let's clean up this mess.
And even the friend, when he's trying to like kind of save him from the producer, he goes and ties up with the mafia without ever communicating to him or to the manager. So these men are like, oh, I'm going to protect you, I'm going to protect you, I'm going to take all the decisions, all the wrong decisions, and never be accountable for those decisions.
Yeah.
And it's the women who are carrying the load of all their bad decisions. Like, what is going on? And these are our heroes? I mean...
And why have we like normalized or romanticized this macho-ness? I mean, it started from like the Amitabh Bachchan time.
Right.
Yeah? Like, it just feels so great to see. I mean, not for me, but like I've grown up hearing. But it feels so amazing seeing this macho character on the big screen.
Interesting that you brought Amitabh Bachchan up, because that's a very good reference. So I feel when we started, it was a need of the hour to have the angry young man. I was so happy when I actually saw Amitabh Bachchan as the angry young man. I think because it was also created by two of the biggest and two of the finest brains in our industry, Salim and Javed. The whole idea to have the angry young man was to challenge the system, right? There were these mazdoors, unions, there were these big thekedars and all that. These guys were playing the role of the angry young man because they were punching up. Okay, they were angry not because of their privilege. They were angry not because of their power. They were angry because they were hurt. They were desperate. Anger is a very amazing emotion, Aditi, according to me. I feel anger is a cry for justice. Anger is a cry for fairness. And that's where the angry young man came from. And bravo that they actually, came up with the whole concept of the angry young man. Over the years, and then, of course, in 80s, see, the movies, how they are made also depends on the socioeconomic status of the country.
Yeah, I agree.
In the 80s, there were about, if I remember the number correctly, there were about 15,000 crore people because of the industrialization that came to the middle class. Now, these middle class people did not really want the Mazdoor unions. They wanted to go party and all that. And suddenly the shift changed from the angry young man to, let's say, a partying or a good life. Let's go to Switzerland. These are our locations. Rishi Kapoor running in a fabulous sweater somewhere in Switzerland and all that. So then that shifted. Now, I think over a period of time, something that began as the angry young man with the purpose, with the good heart to fight the good fight, has now become a parody. Now, everyone is an angry young man now, and without a cause. Everyone is a rebel without a cause. Be it your Ranbir Kapoor in Animal, be it your Shahid Kapoor in Kabir Singh. What are you fighting? You're slapping women around.
Yeah.
And then somehow the directors and producers will be, nah, so let's give them some backstory. And the only backstory that they will come up with is
trauma
and an absentee, usually a father.
Yeah.
I mean...
Come on.
You can do better than that.
Yeah, think deeper at this point.
Yeah.
So interesting that you said that like the angry young man actually started with a purpose and now it's actually become a parody.
Yeah.
And honestly, like when you said anger is that emotion, anger is that emotion that really helps you get justice. It's also the emotion that helps you like rewire
Hmm.
your thought
Hmm.
processes. Like only when you reach that stage of anger do you
Hmm.
want to do something about it. Now, when I say that,
Hmm.
I'm saying that you can feel angry,
Hmm.
don't behave angry.
Hmm.
But what they're showing
Exactly.
on screen is the behavior that is the
Absolutely.
byproduct of anger.
You're so right. You're so right. See, every emotion has its own positive and negative connotation. What you do with it is it makes all the difference.
Yes.
You can be angry, and that's valid, but your actions are not. The
Yes.
violence that follows is not, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you can be angry for all you want, but what are you going to do with your anger? I'll go back, if I can,
Yeah.
go back to the whole adolescence thing, if people have watched
Yes.
it. Now the family is grieving a son who has done such a heinous crime, right? Now all three of them are angry, and all three of them are grieving: the father, the mother, and the daughter, the sister of the guy. How is the father reacting? He is getting into a fight with these boys. He's pushed to a corner. He reacts sharply. He gets violent. He vandalizes a van. How are the women, and they're also angry, but how are they behaving? They are tiptoeing around him. They are making sure that he is well taken care of. They are the ones who are keeping calm, keeping it together. Towards the end of the fourth season, he actually talks to his daughter. The father talks to his daughter and says that, you must be bullied in school. And she says, yeah, I am his sister. I'm bullied day in and day out. And nobody talks about that, but everyone is focused on father's anger and the violence that kind of follows. So what he said is the action.
Yes. Yeah, it's just the byproduct of it. And
Exactly.
that's the thing that actually gives anger the bad name.
Yeah, anger is a good emotion if
It's
you
a great
know
emotion.
if you know what to do with it.
100%.
Yeah. I remember this year on Women's Day, I actually wrote a whole piece on Instagram. I shared it recently as well. It says, "Have you seen an angry woman?"
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you.
Yeah.
I think you read that too,
we
right?
spoke about it, yeah.
And how we have gendered an emotion like anger, which of course belongs to both men and women. But when men get angry, we celebrate them. We celebrate the violence on screen, in real life also. When women are harassed in buses, on the streets, they get angry too. But they are not allowed to be angry.
Yeah.
They're not even allowed to be angry. So yeah, once again, like, anger is a great emotion because it's a cry for justice. It's a cry for fairness. What you do with it, violence, of course, is not the right thing to do.
Yeah.
What you do with it is what that makes all the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was this other reel of yours, and you can have to remind me. This just came to me. Firbi nahi. I forgot the movie name.
Aap Jaisa Koi.
Aap Jaisa Koi, correct. Aap Jaisa Koi, where the wife is angry because she has a terrible marriage, right? And it wasn't taken well by, I think by people it wasn't taken well.
Oh my God, yeah.
The narrative was like, how can she cheat, or how can she want to move on from her marriage? And
I think the
what?
the large opinion of a lot of people was the fact that, so are you trying to justify cheating? But she has been cheated all along in her marriage, that you don't want to see and acknowledge at all. But the fact that she stood up for herself and found love outside her marriage, suddenly you want to talk about cheating and all that.
For a woman.
And in the entire, if you see all our films, from No Entry to BB number 1 to Pati number 1 to all kinds of movies, we have celebrated, Shaukeens, all kinds of.
What is that Govinda where he had two wives, where he was juggling?
Kyunki main jhoot nahi bolta.
That also, yes. That also, yes.
Yeah.
What the heck?
So you have happily made comedies celebrated. You have gone to the theaters, made them rich, ha ha ha, throughout.
Because it's okay if a man does it, right? And
yeah,
that's what's so confusing.
Yeah.
Why is it okay when a man is on like big Bollywood cinemas made by greatest directors
Yeah.
and producers are like, it's okay if a man cheats because it's ha ha ha.
Yeah.
But if a woman is like in crew wearing a low neck and
It's
robbing and
objectionable.
cheating and like doing, suddenly it's like,
Yeah, it's objectionable. Yeah.
let the women not see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what the
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah.
So, okay. So, talking about this is the TV series that I had seen. I was really, really trying to think of the name, and I finally figured it out yesterday, which was Bhabhiji Ghar Pe Hai.
Oh no.
What
why are you watching that?
So, I think during COVID, it was playing, and that was my irritation. I was not able to communicate it. I also realized that yesterday while I was desperately trying to figure out the name, because I had to message mom. I was like, what was that series that I used to get super irritated about? One was Kapil Sharma, and the other one was this. It's like, I was like, dude, this show was constantly like, one is a very like villagey, wife, and one was a very modern, so rural and urban. And the modern, the husband would always feel like he wants the wife to be like his neighbor, which is very like gharelu. And the other one wanted the opposite. And they would just the whole, like, I mean, how many series were there? But the whole concept was how they cross flirt and how it's okay. And how it's
and it's only the men who are flirting and the women are not flirting.
No, the women are like very like docile. I don't know. Sorry. Like, so they are making them like, you have to be like calm and like, and don't give heat to these kind of things.
I'll tell you the funny thing is, the ground reality is so different. Like, I come from Delhi, okay? And I've been brought up in like LIG, HIG, MIG kind of flats, middle income group and all that. And, at that point in time, I couldn't quite tell. But now in hindsight, I can easily tell when these neighbors would come home, or, when I would see two neighbors interacting and all that, there would be such sexual tension between some Bhabhiji and some uncle and some auntie and some uncle, right? There'll be flirting vibes going on. This auntie will be twirling her hair and all that. These women are extremely expressive and they are sexually very aware, very sexually very expressive. However, we never get to see this on the big screen. And of course, there are men, there are women, and there will be all kinds of tension between them and all that. And I remember this, as a kid, I remember what is going on. At that point in time, it never registered.
Yeah.
But these women are very confident, when it comes to...
Yeah.
Now, come to think of it, I'm sure if you...
You know, which one I actually saw it in was FOMO Shots. There was a sex scene between, I can't remember her name, but her and Milind Soman. And it was more like, dude, I want it.
Yeah,
and she got it.
Yeah.
And it felt amazing because it feels amazing when like four girls sit down and talk about sex, because we do that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's normal.
Yeah. So the point that I was trying to make is that
Yeah.
we try to like kind of sanitize it so much and celebrate men wanting sex on the screen while women squirming, not being sure and all that. The ground reality is very different. That's one. Secondly, this whole Bhabhiji concept.
Yeah.
How come I've never heard a girl say Devarji?
Yeah, I mean, Devarji used to be there, but it wasn't sexualized. I don't think it was, right?
Right? The moment, like, it's so interesting. Even my friends, when they meet, like, for example, if they're meeting my friend and his wife, the first thing will be, and they will be saying her name is Ruchika, they will not even address her as Ruchika. Bhabhiji, kaise ho? Bhabhiji, Bhabhiji, Bhabhiji. I don't see women do that, with men. And why that happens, because you have always identified women, and it's I think it happens very subconsciously, because I come from that background, I know this, that we have been taught, especially men have been always shown women as someone else's property. So that property is it has to be equated. Bhabhiji, she doesn't have her own individuality. She's Ruchika, she's a doctor, she's whatever, XYZ and all that. That's not important. The fact that she's so-and-so's wife and hence your Bhabhiji is important for you.
Sorry, I got irked like my stomach just flipped while I was hearing that.
Sometimes I even hear it on air, on so many radio stations and all that. I'm like, guys, 2025,
How have we not changed?
How have we not changed? And and people are still like applauding. And I know it's meant in fun and all that, but these are such undercurrents. If you just like dig a little deep, you would understand how sexist this whole Bhabhiji business sounds.
It's very...
The way name shows Bhabhiji Ghar Pe Hai.
Exactly.
Imagine.
And even, I mean, obviously it's there in this, but it's also there in like so many other ones. Like even I was telling you that Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma. So much patriarchy. Always like making fun of the women, like the fact that they don't have a career, the fact that they're not educated, the fact that they're really dumb, the fact that they're only good for household work, which almost seems like meaningless. The punching down at that gender, it's almost like disgusting. And you know how many years the show must have gone on for? I'm to thinking it's almost like 16 years or more.
Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma. I don't know. I've never watched it, so I don't know. But yeah, it's one of the most popular shows.
Exactly, and it's one of the most like, and they get away by saying that, hey, it's just comedy, and that's my problem. Like, hey, it's just violence, it's on screen, but hey, it's just comedy. But somehow it's okay when you're glamorizing a man.
Yeah.
And it's okay when you're punching down at a woman.
Yeah.
But the opposite, suddenly, like, you won't even go and watch the movie.
Yeah.
The producers are literally going a loss.
You know, and what people will say to this, oh, so we can't even now crack jokes. So should we stop being funny? My answer is yeah, maybe you can do better. Come up with better jokes, come up with better premises and all that. I remember the other day I was having a chat, something similar conversation with one of my friends about Kapil Sharma, saying, but he's funny. And I'm going to give that man his credit. Of course, Kapil Sharma, his timing is funny, his jokes are funny and all that. And you know, I'm kind of okay with the fact that, you know, there's some amount of chhed between the two genders because like I said, you know, there's always tension. Men like to tease women, women like to tease men and all that. But that cannot become the show's personality. The entire show, Kapil Sharma, if you see, his one-liners, his jokes, his characters cross-dressed, his guests, they're always like kind of punching down at their wives. हाँ अजय देवगन आएगा तो ये तो मुझे सुबह उठाती है, मैं तो इतना बेचारा पति हूँ, कोई आ जाएगा, मैं तो इतना बेचारा पति हूँ. So this whole narrative of मैं इतना बेचारा पति हूँ and she's such a difficult wife is so last season now.
And I can't get with this whole Bollywood thing. It's like, you're not bechara.
Yeah.
We all know like everything is, all your secrets are almost out. You're firstly not bechara.
Yeah.
Don't punch down on your wife because now it's 2025. But your wife can like easily like talk about it.
Yeah. And you know, why is it a joke? Why when, let's say, not that Ajay Devgan has said, or maybe he has, I don't know. Let's say an Ajay Devgan is saying कि मैं इतना बेचारा पति in his marriage with Kajol. Why are people laughing? Because they know that this is not true. Now imagine if Kajol turned around and said, ये तो सुबह रोज उठ के मुझे मारते हैं. Will that sound funny? No, because it's a reality of a lot of households that women are being beaten up. So we also know that this is not a reality. But हम क्या करते हैं? How do we control our women? By dismissing their individuality completely, by condescending them, dismissing them. अरे ये तो बोलती रहती है, अरे she's such a nag, अरे she सुबह उठ के बोलती रहती है, अरे मेरे को भरा परेशान करती है, मुझे शॉपिंग ले जाती है, मेरा क्रेडिट कार्ड यूज करती है. You say these things time and again and time and again and time and again, and people know it's not true, but it's funny. But the damage that you're doing is that you're dismissing their individuality completely, okay, so that you can control them. Yeah. It's as simple as that, you know. And
now that is like one part of controlling them. I've started seeing the second part where they want to have the same byproduct of controlling women, but they don't have enough, let's be honest, money. Because eventually, back in the day, they used to use money and obviously respect to control women, right? They used to make them financially dependent and stuff.
On them, yeah.
Now they can't. Now men are... Not every man is making that much money, let's be honest.
Yeah. And women are completely independent these days financially.
Hai na?
Yeah.
But now, do you think the 50-50 is working? Or do you think the 50-50 is again in the favor of the man?
What 50-50? Sorry, I missed
In a relationship, if I'm doing 50 and he's bringing in 50, do you think that works? Or do you think it's in the favor of patriarchy, favor of the man again? If a woman comes in with her 50, and like I'm paying for my 50%. Doesn't that take away half your burden?
Yeah.
Like, do you think 50-50 works, or do you think 50-50 is again in the favor of men?
Depends on... So that's what men have to kind of realize. See, the traditional roles of men were to provide and protect, right? Now they the women don't want to be provided for or protected by any, we're not living in caves, we're not living in jungles, there are no animals, right?
Correct.
So women are saying we can provide for ourselves, we can protect ourselves. That's not a problem. That's not a deal. Now, if women are bringing the 50% of the expenses, what are you bringing to the table?
Yeah.
So 100%, if men are bringing something to the table and are ready to pitch in, be emotionally available, be there when you want them, then it's a fair partnership. But if it is not, then it serves patriarchy yet again.
That's what I've been saying.
Yeah,
I've been saying this.
Yeah.
I said, stop this 50-50 if it's not really serving you.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep your money.
Yeah.
Let women keep their money if at least this is what they were supposed to do. Some households are doing that, like the newer trends are, okay, the woman is financially independent, but she's keeping her money. Because at some point you also reach that stage of, especially in arranged marriages, it's starting, where the man is providing and the woman is keeping her money. Because what if, we've seen way too many incidents.
In fact, a recent study they were talking about that single women are far happier than single men. I'm sure you must have read that, right?
Yes.
So it said that women who are married are less happy, and men who are single are less happy, and women who are single are much happier than men who are single. So.
Yes, and women who are men who are married are more happier. Yeah, that's the same thing than single women. Correct.
And
it's insane, right?
This is not and this is not even dissing or bashing men. What when I say that I'm a feminist, oh, you're a man hater and all that. I myself a man. Why will I hate men? The whole idea is that we are questioning patriarchy, and patriarchy, of course, oppresses women, but at the same time, it is not fair on men as well. Multiple conversations have had about how they're not vulnerable, whatever. They're expected to toughen up. They're expected to show up, provide, protect, and all that. And they cannot be their vulnerable selves. Now, if you're ready to see this, if you're ready to understand that this is going to emotionally help you, and then not only emotionally, but also financially help you, both of you coming together as a unit and as a big force and all that, is when men will understand what fight feminism has been fighting. But if you want to sit on the pedestal of your own privilege of gender and control women, then you will keep coming up with different excuses saying that feminazi or whatever you want to call it then.
No, it's honestly, I think men don't understand that first point only, where it's like, okay, I can be emotionally vulnerable if I, help women and bring them up, if we are equals. I don't think they see that only as like a pro. They look at it as a con. Right? I don't think they see that they don't need that kind of space. They only need it during their deathbed. We're like, nobody understood me. Nobody asked me how I was feeling.
Yeah.
But in these youthful years now, they actually have been conditioned since they were a kid to be extremely macho, right? And to be like adolescents.
Adolescents.
Sorry, my
I also
dyslexia.
No, I also.
Yeah. Very Andrew Tate, right? That was the Andrew Tate. The influence was from Andrew Tate.
Yeah, of course. They mention it also.
Yeah. That you have to be cool. You have to get laid. 13-year-old. You have to get laid. You have to have women falling for you. And I'm telling you that I know even 26, 27-year-old men. And that they have that feeling, but they're, under se they're really nice people, but they are kind of judged by the women around, like which girl can I be with, which which holiday am I going with this girl? Like people are judged, men are judged, but by whom?
By men.
We are not judging them. Yeah. If I look at a man with a girl, I'm just like, thank God you found someone.
Right.
I'm not saying, oh, is she an 8 or is she a 10 or is she just a 4? No.
Yeah.
They are being judged by other men.
Yeah.
And I was like, how are you not seeing that?
The flip side is they also don't want to see, because because patriarchy also gives them a lot of power. The fact that you can be out at a certain time of the day, women cannot be. You're going to lose all those privileges. They do not understand that the flip side is that it comes at a price. So for women, it's the worst, yeah, because she's just being oppressed in a patriarchal system. You know, I mean, crying out loud 40 years, 50 years ago, we were burning our women if they lost their husbands.
Yeah.
That was a part of our culture, imagine. But I'm saying for men in a patriarchal system, there are privileges, but there's also a price. Men don't want to look at the price because they are pretty obsessed with the privilege that comes along.
Yeah.
So that's the reason they don't want to like kind of, part ways from it. And they want to, why do we have the Andrew Tates of the world? Because they want to hammer patriarchy. They do not want to let go of the system. They are scared. They're like, now women are earning. Now women are financially independent. They are emotionally independent. Where do we fit in?
Exactly.
So they are flipping out. They are like, dude,
this is a cry for help.
This is a cry for help. And that's the reason they come up with some stupid, absolutely nonsensical narratives of 80% women only want 20% men and all that. And there also you want to blame the women. Like,
yeah,
I'm not going to make any changes in me. But I'm going to blame the women that the women are choosing only 20% of men. I'm such a bechara. Like, really?
The victim mentality, man. I can't. Like, every time you're a victim, you take the power away from changing anything. And that's what they want to be. Like, a lot of them is like, oh my God, this is happening to us. You women are doing this to us.
Yeah.
And if any, and I've said this in so many podcasts, I'm sure my editor is going to cut this out. It's like, I don't want to make a reel again. Is that when I, as a woman, talk about tougher topics like divorce and abuse and stuff like that, I am judged. But if Andrew Tate is talking about it,
he celebrated.
Yeah. Bro. Then people are actually talking about the subject.
Yeah.
But if I am talking about the subject, they'll be like fatherless.
Yeah.
Divorcee.
Yeah. वो सारे tags सामने आ जाएंगे बिल्कुल. It's so funny that you mentioned this because some Andrew Tate equivalent in India, some guy who makes all these reels and all that.
I'm sure I'll know. After the podcast, I'll...
No, I can name him. I just can't remember him.
Okay.
I can't remember him. And he just showed up on my reel and he's like, why do you have to go to your teacher? Your teacher cannot really help you. The teacher doesn't earn in millions. You have to earn millions and millions of dollars. Your teacher is a loser. That's the reason you should go and speak to these entrepreneurs and, making minting money and all that. I was like, in which part of the world, when have we universally decided that making millions is the objective of everyone's life? My teacher doesn't make millions. Maybe my goal is not to make millions. Maybe my goal is to like just, earn a humble whatever salary and live with it.
Exactly. Also, the more money you earn, you're always bartering something out of your life.
Yeah, exactly. So why this hyper... she's not earning or he's not earning millions of teachers. Or don't listen to them, listen to the author. I was like, okay, cool.
Come on, man. Come on. Only because we have Diwali around the corner. I know that this is not going to air by the time it's Diwali, but I saw an ad recently where I was thinking it's changing the narrative of men and women, but not enough.
Oh, please, don't even get me started on it.
There was this Diwali ad back in the day where they show like the women doing the mithai, the women doing the rangoli, the women making the food, the women serving the food, and it's Diwali at home. And the men are just standing with the women, holding that pressure cooker, and like that's the ad.
Or if it's a car ad.
Yeah.
Then suddenly the men are out and driving and making all the conversations with the person at the car showroom and all that, and women are just in the background looking pretty.
Yeah, passenger princess.
Passenger princess. Yeah.
It's so weird.
And I can almost imagine the kind of conversations that are going down in these creative, rooms, saying, Diwali aa rahi hai, ad banate hain, emotions work karega, traditions work karenge. And they keep going back to the whole traditional idea of a woman toiling in the kitchen. So let's make her, let's show her making some sweets and all that. And of course, the man of the family is going to go out and get a car for the family and all that. So they've not moved at all.
They haven't. The narrative is still that way.
Yeah.
Even though I think I feel like I saw it in Rocky or Rani, where they had where in Rocky or Rani, they had like a mithai business, and for that they had to make an ad, and they were running the same ad that gave them like millions and got them like some attention years ago. So they tried to remake it where it was again women in the kitchen and the men are like, ha ha ha, wow, very tasty. And then Rani was like, bro, this doesn't work right now, man. You need to have like equality. Then they put men in the kitchen. Internally, they were just like, this is not going to work. This is against our culture, against our sanskar. What will people think we're promoting? You know, and obviously like the whole LGBTQ aspect comes into it. Whatever. Then they made it. And it was such a big deal ki, oh my God, what a great idea. You know, it's really working. Our stocks have hit crazy heights and all. And I was just like, good, fine, chalo, it did well. Why are we celebrating? Why are we celebrating men doing the bare minimum? And chalo, it's not even the ads, man. It's me. I also, like, just today, I had said it in front of a friend that I have lost my sunglasses. It's been a while I've lost my sunglasses. I need to get more sunglasses, but I'm not feeling like paying like 700 dirhams. So I'm dealing it. I said something, one or two other things around like, you know, I'll have to get up early, I have to do this, I have to do that. When they left, he called me and he's like, listen, you were on a call, but I've left a couple of extra sunglasses. You can choose which one you want. Maybe you can try it out for a day or two and see which one you like and use that till the time, you know, you get your your sunglasses. And I was like, oh my God, thanks so much. This is really nice. And he's like, oh, coffee's in the fridge. You know, apple is cut. And I was like, oh my God, so sweet. And they're like, oh, because they knew I was on call. And then I was just like, it's bare minimum. I also would do that. But I also fall for it. I'm also like, bare minimum. I'm also celebrating it. It takes me a minute.
I recently saw this show, Twinkle Khanna and Kajol. I don't know whether you watched that reel or not. They had Salman Khan and Amir Khan talk about how women don't really get a role beyond after 30 and all that. And why there's so much of age difference between the Salman Khans and Amir Khans of the world and the women they are romancing on the big screen. So I made a reel about it, you know, and it was so difficult to like kind of sit through that show because Amir Khan was mansplaining Twinkle Khanna, not owning up, you know, that, that's a reality. And then Salman Khan was also kind of dismissive and all that. So I made a reel about it. And then a friend of mine shared it. And then she sent me a long message saying, thank you so much for... And I was telling her, I was like, dude, this is the part of the problem. Why are you thanking me? This is really the basic. And she was like, yeah, now that you say it, I kind of, you know, realize that, you know, that it is a part of the problem that, you know, we put our men who do the bare minimum of calling sexism out and it's not cool. But then both of us, we were discussing that the times these days, you know, the scenario is so bad that anyone who does like literally the bare minimum is celebrated. The lack of the lack of any voices coming from men, if any man speaks up, you know, for these issues, suddenly he is celebrated.
Yeah. He suddenly has become like one hero.
Yeah.
Suddenly, I know and I get it and I'm doing it too.
And I'm very, very nonchalant and I'm very like forthright about the fact that I am not doing it for women. I am doing it for myself.
Yeah.
You know, I want patriarchy to end because it's going to help me flourish as a human being. It's going to help the men around me flourish in a better way. And most importantly, when there is going to be a gender equality, pay parity and all that, the nations around the world financially, because the world understands the language of money only. So financially also, wherever you see Sweden, Denmark, countries where there's better pay parity and better gender dynamic, they are flourishing financially. They're making more money. So it's as simple as that. So I'm not doing any woman any favor by speaking up for them. I'm genuinely doing it for both men and women and for a better economy, for a better world.
Dude, honestly, just feels so great to hear that. Why do you think men can't see that? And I know we spoke about the fact that it gives them short-term gain with long-term, like, whatever, effects.
It's privilege. It's power.
But the power comes at a cost, na? It's like all these years, you think like men have not seen Like their fathers suffer, their fathers' fathers suffer. Like, why have they normalized the fact that, we don't need feminism?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, for me, I feel like they've actually like looked at it as a insult.
N- that's exactly what I was saying, right? Women have been oppressed very clearly, very evidently. Okay, so they are paying a price for patriarchy and they do not have any power. With men, it comes with its own set of powers and its own price as well. They want to hold on to the power.
Yeah.
They do not even acknowledge that the price that they're paying.
Okay.
They are very okay with, yeah, that's what a man is supposed to be. We are not supposed to cry, we are not supposed to emote, we are not supposed to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
But we are the powerful one. We are the men of the family. We are the controlling ones. The fact that they're going to lose control over the woman in their life or the kids or people around them, it just scares. It scares them. And that's the
Yeah.
reason they do not want to acknowledge the price that they're paying. So they just want to hold on to the power. Look at the leaders around the world, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they are just holding on to the power
Yeah.
and not ready to budge at the cost of humanity.
You know, I have seen such great couples as examples where there is like, men are changing. They are being like real feminists as much as we can. It's a super new concept, anyways. We're still going to make mistakes. I make mistakes. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can see like men doing it and changing. I know that when I started talking about feminism, I lost a lot of friends, male friends. And I know that when men also stand up for this equal rights and equal lifestyle, they also kind of get shunned by other men.
Oh, all the time.
They also kind of lose out on.
मेरे followers चले जाते हैं Instagram पे. Every time I put up a feminist reel, suddenly 200 people have unfollowed you. It's like,
yeah. It's for me. There was this phase from Feb to April where 2000 up, 2000 down, 2000 up, 2000 down because of this only.
Yeah.
You're actually talking about things that people are extremely uncomfortable about.
Yeah.
Right. And as I said, I've actually lost friends. They actually share my posts and be like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with it again? It's just like, don't, like, please unfollow.
Yeah.
If the vibes are not matching, let's not meet. But I'm privileged enough to say that. I'm privileged enough to do that. There might be so many people out there that do not have this privilege, and nobody wants to be lonely in today's
Of course. Yeah.
Nobody wants to be like shunned.
Yeah.
And they kind of lose respect from their own family sometimes. If a man is standing up for his wife or the woman, their own family doesn't respect
अरे ना
them.
मर्द है तू तुझे you don't know how to control your woman.
Yeah.
Of course, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
It's so disgusting at this point.
But it's I would still say it's a good fight to fight. Despite all being shut down, despite, whatever. Because this is, if you submit to patriarchy, that's taking you to far darker places, lonelier places. But if you are standing up for feminism, then that's the only way to connect, and that's the only way to bridge the two genders.
I feel like the times I have done it, and it's not every time, I'll be honest. The times I have done it, I have gotten so exhausted, Loki. I have gotten so exhausted to a point where I'm just like, it's me against all these fucking, like, it's so old school, this mentality, I'm just like, it's sometimes so exhausting that even I'm just like, to just be easier to just say yes in this moment
and just move on. But is your goal to kind of change people's mind? Because I can share my example and tell me if you can take a cue from there or not. I am not there to change anyone's mind. So people comment, whatever, friends argue, friends debate. The moment I see that this is a debate to tire me and exhaust me and prove their point and not get a fresh perspective, then I shut down the conversation saying, great, I agree. We agree to disagree. I don't see your point. You don't see my point. Shut down the conversation. My objective is not even to like kind of change the minds of people who are sitting on the fence. My objective is just to like kind of spark a conversation and see where it goes and all that. But people who are sitting on the fence, if they can see and they can't make up their mind and all that, and they see my reel and then they see merit in it and then they form an opinion, then that's a win. But I feel if I've learned this the hard way, that if I ever get into making a reel or getting into a conversation with friends and all that with the objective of changing their mind, then it's going to just exhaust me. It's just going to exhaust me. So the idea is to not go with that mindset.
Yeah, so in content, I think it's easier for me to like say, chalo bas, you do you. But if I have to take what I preach on content to what I have to practice in real life, I'm saying that's the time sometimes it exhausts me also. Because
conversations with friends and all that.
Conversations with friends, forget friends. I'm talking about elders. Because sometimes you have to actually perform. You have to actually perform when you're with some rishtedars and whatever, your relatives and all. I'm just like, bro, I don't do this. I don't pick up a tray and I don't do this. You want to take it, come to this is the table, I've kept everything, come and take it. Don't be, I can't serve. It's not something I can do. And then, it starts to become like, don't create a scene, don't do this, don't do this, just do, get it done with. So then it started becoming that I had to stop going for these things. I would like always tell my sister that, it gives me anxiety. It doesn't give me as much anxiety, which you'll find out now. It doesn't actually give me that much anxiety. It's just the patriarchy that gets to me.
Yeah.
It really gets to me.
I suddenly saw my privilege of gender when we are having this conversation, because you are expected to perform. I am not, so I don't feel that pressure.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you a funny story. I was at my cousin's place, Shweta, and Shweta is married to Akshay. They stay in Dubai. And my mom stays with me. So we were visiting her because her mother was visiting. So basically, two of my Masis, which is Shweta's mother and another Masi and my mom. So three sisters were meeting together. And we were having lunch and Shweta was having mangoes. And I think her mother said, "Arey, Akshay damad ji ke liye rakh de mangoes. Kya kar rahi hai?" And Shweta flipped and I flipped.
Yeah.
और हम तो चढ़ गए पूरा बुरा बिस्तर लेके and not that Akshay is the kind of a person who would be like मैं लेके उन्हें छोड़ा mango and all that. He'll be like, chill, do you have, I have it, whatever. And then we were having these heated arguments and all the three sisters couldn't really see because, internalized patriarchy unka itna hai, my mother and both my Masis and all that. And then I was like, Masi, and I was telling my mother also that, we're not trying to convince you to change your opinion and all that. But this is what it is. This is how you, and they were like, हाँ तो हमने तो बचपन से ऐसे ही देखा है ना, हमने तो हमेशा अपने कहते हैं आदमियों को ही खिलाया है, तो हम तो हमेशा पहले उनको ही बोलेंगे, we are going to pass on what we have learned and all that. And then my mother said, but we can't change, we can't change. I was like, do you realize you used to wear salwar suit 10 years ago? You're wearing a nice cropped top and a pair of jeans. You didn't even know how to operate on a phone. You are rocking it like a ninja and you're saying that you will not change. And then she didn't know what to say.
Insane.
I was like, how can you compartmentalize and choose where you want to change and choose where you don't want to change? So I said, if this is an area of concern, Shweta having mangoes is an area of concern for her, then you will have to change your mindset that, yeah, Akshay will have it too. Like, whatever, they'll figure out what is this, keep it for Damaji and all that.
Wow. So, I love that.
Right? So, but I do understand as a woman, you will be expected to do the chores and run the chores and if you don't, then you're the bad person. And
you know what? Sometimes, okay, so this happened like 2 weeks ago. Me, my other girlfriend, and a guy friend. We were over, so 3 of us. And it was my house. This is the first time they were coming to the new house and all of that. So every time I was getting up, I was the one getting the chakna. I was the one getting the soda. I was the one doing all of this. And then I was like, bro, y'all want extra? It's there in the fridge. Okay, now it's going on and on. I can see that the guy has finished. I was like, okay. I got up and got something for myself, and I got up and I got a soda for him. Soda here means just beer, by the way. That's why we're getting more, but we'll cut it. So I was like, again, go get up and get the soda for him. And then I'm just like, why isn't he getting up, man? And I also felt the performative thing that I've been doing for all these years ki karna to padega. Like, he's in my house. I have to do some khatardari. I don't believe in it. My conscious mind doesn't believe in it.
True.
But my subconscious patterns
True.
are fighting my conscious logic and my conscious change, you know. And I kept doing it, but I kept doing it and I kept saying, y'all can go to the fridge and take it. Y'all can go to the fridge and take it. And it's so confusing because I'm trying to change, and then some days I'm just like, it's so exhausting.
It is.
And then I just give in.
Yeah, and like, it's worse. It's worse. See, here you were the only host, right? But it's worse when you have all your family members around, especially your brothers and your father and your chacha and whatever, and they are not expected to move. But you are like expected to like ferry all over the house and make sure that everything is available to every guest in the house. Like,
I can't do it. Like, I can't do this serving. And now whenever I go to anyone's house, and it's still there within my family when they do the serving and all of that, I sit with the men.
As you must.
Yeah, I sit with the men. I'm drinking with them. I'm chakna papad with them.
Dude, it used to be such a sight back in the day. I remember when Masis and Mama and all these relatives would come over home. All the women are there in the kitchen. All the men are there under AC, whatever, just happily chilling and all that. And then women are making food and all that. We're serving, kids are serving and all. And then my mother would be like, sabzi khatam ho rahi hai. So I'd be like, have you saved some for yourself? No, unko khila de. Arey, papa ko khane de, mama ji ko khane de, mausa ji ko khane de. And I would be like, aap log kya hoge? Masi would suddenly chime in. Arey, hum bread kha lenge, hum bread pe makhan laga ke kha lenge, hum bhujia kha lenge, hum ye kha lenge. Of course, at that point in time, it never registered. I would be like, okay, whatever, do whatever. Now when I think back, this was happening. Like, they were depriving themselves of just basic nutrition because they wanted to make sure that the men are fed. And they didn't even consider themselves worthy enough to be like fed proper dinner after toiling in the kitchen for 2 hours. Like, exactly.
And this is a conversation that still happens. Today, up till this date, is I have to train my boyfriend. Sorry that I'm using the word train, but men need to be trained at this point. But I'm like, you need to know how to make chai. Chai can't be messed up. Because bare necessity, basic cooking to aani chahiye. Because firstly, I don't cook. But what if, the cook doesn't come, the house help doesn't come? It's not that we're going to full day eat outside. If I'm at work, if I'm on my calls and I need chai, you should make it for me. If you need chai, I will make it. I can't subscribe to this concept of every time you want something, let's order.
How has that gone down with your boyfriend?
It's taken a while. It's taken over 4.5 years where he's understood that ye karna padta hai.
Yeah.
I have sat in a conversation where relatives have said, ye arranged market mein na, ladkiyan ko basic cooking to chahiye hi chahiye ladke se. And I'm like, hello, auntie. This is very much required. And I had to explain. I was like,
it's a life skill. How do you gender something as
like chai?
Like cooking?
Basically, we did speak about Sheila Ki Jawani at some point.
We did.
Right now, there's a new song, Gafoor. I can't get it out of my head. But I'm also seeing like item numbers, man. People love seeing women on screen. They love being entertained by women. They love like watching it. But at some point in reality, in real life, this is like shunned upon. During entertainment, it's great. Like on screen, it's amazing. But in real life, it's not okay. For example, there was this one reel that recently went around. It's not going to be recent when it's out. About how I think they were doing some pageant, a Miss India or something. Not Miss India, but some pageant. And like politicians or something have come, like leaders have come and walked in and be like, this is against our sanskar. You can't be wearing these clothes. And like the women have to not only like be progressive, have also told that man in a calming voice, first calmed him down because they were worried about their own safety. And then tried to explain that, what are they doing? What is this about? So then also like calm him down, then explain to him like a child. So I see such a stark difference why on Bollywood everything is okay and you're really enjoying it. But in real life,
The funny thing is that there's such a thin line between feeling sexy and being sexualized, right? Um, and you're talking about this event. This is happening on a lot of Instagram reels as well. There are a lot of these women, young girls, who are making these "get ready with me" reels, and men are objecting. Why did you have to bend so much? Why did you have to show your cleavage? Why did you have to show your back? Why did you have to? Why can't you just wear clothes? Why can't you wear clothes and then whatever? And all kinds of shutting down is happening on women. These young girls who want to like whatever have a good time, make these reels, right? Their body, they want to just like kind of explore their
Half the gym is naked, by the way.
Exactly, right? So as far as item numbers are concerned, those item numbers, as much as they were celebrated, I have a huge problem with those item numbers because the gaze was always the male gaze. The gaze was always the titillating gaze to sexualize the woman and present her to titillate the male viewers. That was the whole idea.
Yeah.
But if you shift the gaze, from a male gaze to a female gaze, it is always better. Again, I think last year on Women's Day, I wrote like a huge piece about it, and then one of the pieces, because I've seen this with my niece and all that, right? And she keeps telling me all these amazing stories about how she bonded with most of her friends in the washroom. So all the women, when they go to the washroom, they are unapologetically themselves. They're whatever, putting makeup on, whatever, striking all these sexy poses and all that, because they are sexy human beings. They are sexual human beings, and they do feel sexy, and they also feel the need to express themselves sexily, right? So feeling sexy is a very natural thing. Like men feel sexy, women feel sexy as well. Expressing sexy is also a very natural thing. And that's exactly what women are doing at this event that you spoke about, or women who are making "Get Ready With Me" reels. The moment you sexualize them, the moment you sexualize a young woman, or the moment you sexualize a Malaika Arora Khan or a Katrina Kaif on the screen, that is problematic. So
But everything is planned, right? They know that if you are you're putting them, making them do this step in these clothes on this song, it is going to get the male gaze. So
yeah,
it's all
yeah,
like,
yeah, they are sexualizing a woman's body for the male gaze.
and then they also say that it's empowering.
It is empowering if you have the right intention. Like, for example, Sheila Ki Javani, though again, the words are very feminist, but again, the gaze, because there are these four random men who are like twirling around her, gaping at her and staring at her. That's again a male gaze, despite the fact that Farah Khan has directed that song, a woman has directed, choreographed that song. My point is how you're presenting the woman. If it is your intention is to titillate men, it will show that you're sexualizing, you're objectifying women. If your objective is to empower a woman, letting her own her body and her sexuality on the screen, it will show, So an item number is not bad. The intention behind it and what you're doing with it is problematic, I feel.
Yeah. Like, I think in Crew, they had like a song which was, I think, the Diljit Dosanjh song. Was he there?
Which one? Huh.
In Crew, there was one song.
The Choli Ke Piche Kya Hai song?
Not the last one, yeah, after the movie ended. But it was just the women and whoever the singer was.
Which is the most feminist female gaze song that I can think of right now. I don't know if you would also know it. There's a film called Hame Rahe Pyar Ke, Amir Khan.
Yeah.
So the film begins with
You're talking about this, na?
Juhi Chawla.
Yeah.
And the kids. Chikni surat tu kaha tha. Ab talak ye bata. So there's a factory of whatever, where clothes are made. And Amir Khan walks in, and it's a factory of all women who are at the sewing machine.
Yeah.
And they all see him. And they all completely like fall for him. And they tease him. And they sing the song Chikni surat tu kaha tha. Ab talak ye bata. That is a female gaze, right? So you're objectifying a man,
Yes.
Or even Chamatkar, Shah Rukh Khan, I'm forgetting the song, but Urmila Matondkar is like, like, I'm going to have fun with this man.
And she teases him.
Or going back in the 60s, now that I'm thinking, Raat akeli hai.
I don't know the video of that.
Tanuja and Devanand. Bujhe gaye diye aankein
I know the song,
This is from The Jewel Thief. So Tanuja is trying to like kind of seduce Devanand. And the lyrics and the power is with Tanuja. She's the one who's making the move and she's the one. Please watch this video and you would absolutely love it.
100%.
So that's what I'm saying. The moment the gaze changes, the moment the angle changes and it's on the man, it's a different song altogether.
You know what? I understand when you're saying like the female gaze. It's just that at this point I feel like I don't even want to see that. Like I just want to see women celebrating women.
Yeah.
I don't even want to see them celebrating a man.
Yeah, exactly. More and however they want to do it.
Yeah.
Whatever clothes they want to do it.
Yeah.
As long as they want to celebrate themselves, in a form of an item number or a movie or storytelling or whatever it is.
Yeah. That's why I really like all these shows which are like FOMO shots or like, the girls getting together.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying that.
Yeah.
Because that's a dynamic that really still exists and it'll always exist. And even though you can be like extremely woke, you're still going to make mistakes and you're still going to go into your old patterns. Like I've very like easily expressed in this podcast, like I've made mistakes and I still make mistakes and I'm still learning on a daily basis. It's not an easy shift to make, but I feel great trying. And that's what it is, like, and also like when people like you come and talk about it, I learn from it as well. Like, I'm learning it from a different angle.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you just look at it from one perspective, like if I'm looking at it from my perspective, I'm just like, why can't everybody change? Like, what's so difficult? Until you don't know what's going on with everybody,
exactly.
It's a little bit hard. So
Yeah.
I'm in that phase of life where I've made my decision. I know which path which I strongly believe in, and I'm making mistakes, but I'm hoping for change.
Yeah, we all are. I have made so many mistakes and I've learned it the hard way, but these conversations are so important, and more power to you to actually have these conversations. I know I've watched so many of your episodes where you're talking about mental health, you're talking about feminism, you're talking about equal opportunities and all that. नहीं कर रहे यार लोग आजकल वो लोग बड़े बड़े stars को हर podcast is about like grabbing hold of some superstar and then आप बताएं आपकी journey में struggles क्या थे, वहीं से start होता है वहीं पे खत्म हो जाता है. So I'm happy.
I can't do that.
I'm happy that you're doing
the real life stuff.
Some purpose,
I don't think I would be able to. This is what I live for right now. I hope it continues. I hope like there are not as many hurdles, but this is what gives me joy.
Yeah, and thankfully this is the first podcast that I have done around feminism. Because most of the podcasts have been around my radio journey or...
No, man, please call Loki for more feminist podcasts. Come on.
I would love to.
100%.
Putting it out there.
Yeah, manifest it on this channel.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here and being so vulnerable and teaching me a few things and like hearing me out.
Of course.
I hope you guys learned something about it. But yeah, anyways, please follow Lokesh. Great RJ, great feminist, and we'll put all your links.
I'm actually talking about all these things on my radio show as well because I started a new show.
Oh yeah, you have.
Yeah, it's at 9 p.m. on City 1016. So we're talking about love dynamics between men and women and different perspectives and all that. So this like an extended version of this conversation could be caught on the radio station as well.
Nice. Yes. I'll put all your links, and not me, the editor. He'll put all your links. Please follow along for more and comment, like, share, subscribe. It helps me just a little bit. And bye. See you at the next one.